Good afternoon. My name is Steve Schroeder with Smart Community Technologies, and we are looking at Gecko Parks in Western Florida, a new business coming in December of 2017, more likely January of 2018. But what I wanted to do, especially here for the owners of Gecko Park and others who have similar businesses like this, I want to maybe illustrate the benefits of putting a prepaid strategy in place as an option. So this will work ideally for Weston or for amusement centers like this, and we'll see why in a second. And so this would actually be the grand opening specials if we wanted to do this, and we'll go over the different ideas as we go. So let's look at a breakdown of this, which I believe is kind of like right here. So here are the benefits of a prepaid strategy, which is why I would like to do this. It's an option, doesn't have to be done, but we'll illustrate with Gecko Parks like we talked about today. The reason why amusement parks like Gecko are ideal is because they deal with family entertainment and family health. They have multiple businesses under one roof. So not only do they deal with entertainment and health, but they also deal with restaurant, food. We can create healthy memberships, food memberships. We can create trampoline memberships. We can create rope climb memberships, or all the different things that a business does. For example, when we look at Gecko here, you have all these different attractions. All of these can be separated and automatically filed by what they are, and we can even create memberships for all of them, including the events and the parties. We can track everything by the waiver if we want, and then communicate with these people based on their preferences. So these kinds of businesses are kind of ideal for that. So, and they also have a lounge and a bar. They have adult options, corporate events, adult workouts, calorie burning club, different age options with the kids under 5, kids 5 to 11. So these kinds of businesses are ideal for prepaid revenue. We're going to go over that real quick, and we'll just talk about prepaid revenue alone. And we will drill down a little bit more, like right here. I'm going to tell you why. So here's all the 20 reasons right down here, the top 20 reasons why prepaid revenue is an ideal strategy, not only for a grand opening, but also for ongoing revenue as we go. So first of all, we're going to break down the 20 a little bit more detailed right here. Now, one thing that a prepaid revenue strategy does is that it gives you prepaid money in advance. So it becomes a special or a grand opening. And we include the membership into Gecko based on how much money a person gives to us. So, in other words, if we have, like, let's say a Gecko membership, then we have a gold membership, and we have a platinum membership. Let's just say a 3-tiered membership. The Gecko membership would be the lowest one. Maybe they put $25 or $50 on a prepaid card or a prepaid account, and I'll go over that in a second because we have both options. We can use cards or we can use not cards, right? So pardon those little messages kind of coming in. And we get paid to advertise because anytime we advertise these prepaid benefits, and people load money onto their card or onto their account, which can only be spent at Gecko, which drives them into the business more frequently, helps them spend more money, as we're going to go over to real quick. It does so many things that it's a pretty ideal strategy because we get paid to advertise this way and we get immediate ROI. In other words, when people answer our ad and reply to it, it's not a discount like a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 or a special like that. It is a membership or a benefit based on the amount they give us in advance. So in other words, by responding to the prepaid or by responding to the grand opening special, we get money from everybody. So it's like they pay us to come to our business more often and spend more money when they do. Money can't be spent anywhere else, number two. So, and it acts like chips in Las Vegas. And we know that casinos, when they do this, the spending goes up about 3 times. And it goes up really about 250%. And Las Vegas uses this, but retail fails to do it. When you go into any type of a casino, not just Las Vegas, any casino anywhere, do you notice the first thing is they do is they replace that money with chips? The reason they do that, half of the employees do this. Half of the employees do nothing more than take real money out of your hand and put this monetary replacement of chips in place because you don't even think it's real money. Once it's gone out of your hands, spending goes through the roof. Now, when you add rewards to it, it goes up even more. up to 300, 350%. This is a mistake Las Vegas makes, but we will not make it with your business or with Gecko if we do this, right? So, and in Las Vegas, as you know, you can go back to the window and get your money back with a prepaid gift card, which is not a gift to somebody else, but a card that's retained by the customer or an account retained by the customer. And we'll go over both options shortly. I'm just illustrating with the terms as an example. Then immediately the revenue of that particular business goes up by 300%, just because we have a strategy in place to remove cash out of their hands and then have it automatically flow into a customer account or a membership card, either one, which we will illustrate in a second. There's no advertising when you control revenue from people. You know what? Because once you control their money, they have to come to the business, otherwise you keep the money. So in other words, businesses make more money when customers don't show up than when they do. And that's a great problem to have. And you can always push a button and keep doing this in the future. They come to the place more often due to the controlling of their money. So and then by giving them better incentives, by putting more money into the account, this is the trick. And it takes a couple technologies. We have it all set up for Gecko. We can set it up really kind of for any business, but that's the idea. Because when you have a couple $100 with Gecko Park, and let's say it goes down to $50, $60, $70 or whatever, as this money decreases and you have money on an account, well, when you go to do something with your family, where are you going to go? To the movie theater that you have to spend all new money on? Or do you want to go back to the place where you've already got a balance there, and now it feels like it's free? Because not only did you get a reward for putting it in, which you can't really remember, am I spending the reward? Am I spending the money? But you get future rewards for adding money even more. That's another great thing. We'll talk about that later too. But we've already got their money, so it feels like they're going to get a better deal because everywhere else they go, they have to come up with brand new money, and maybe they don't have any, or maybe money's tight. Especially if mom and dad is giving money to the kids, I mean, they'll come back way more often, and there's no advertising involved because we control their money. You don't have to discount. The prepaid deposit reward is the discount. You get special offers based on the preloaded membership. The Gecko membership, the Gold membership, or the Platinum membership. Not only do you get a higher monetary reward for the amount that you load in real money, but you also might get other things like first in line benefits, come in an hour early, maybe you get a free pizza. You can load up all of these soft benefits that don't really cost you anything and put people in a contest and a game to win things that doesn't even cost Gecko Parks anything for visiting more often or spending more money. And so people are now spending more money for things that don't cost the business anything and going through it. So increasing the spending average ticket of customers is another great thing, in addition to acquiring new customers, because as we acquire new customers, which we will do a lot, of course, in a grand opening, you don't have any customers in reality, then we go out and get these customers through the prepaid benefit strategy. They immediately start spending more money. They're used to everything like this, and they keep loading it up online. And we'll talk about all of this as we go through here in a second, but I'm giving you kind of the highlight. So you see, anytime in the future you need money, you never have to borrow it again. You push a button, you take in 100, 150,000 pretty easily. What we normally do, I want to break this down, is that I think I broke it down right here on top. Yeah. So the goal is to get about $50 from 1,000 people, about $100 from 500 people, and about $200 from 250 people. Now, we can add one with Gecko. It's going to be about $300 from another 100 people. And each one of that is, and more than likely we can get $500 from 100 people. That's 500,000 in advance, right? So, but right here, this is $150,000. $50 from 1,000 people, that's that's 50 grand right there. $100 from 500 people, that's another 50 grand. $200 from 250 people, that's another 50,000. So that's 50, 50, and 50. more than likely, with the strategy we're laying out for Gecko and with others, we can take in 150, 250,000, maybe up to 500,000 in a prepaid bonus amount that does nothing but bring people back more often, have them spend more money when they do, and automate the entire process to keep bringing in a couple 100,000 every time we need it with a bonus. Now we'll promote this as a pre-grand opening bonus, but we can always open this up for any kind of a thing, and we hit one button and we can auto communicate with people based on what they like. We automatically file them into buckets. Now that's not the membership strategy. That's what we do for Gecko. We can do it for you too as well. So that's kind of the concept. You can bring in a lot of money, and the prepaid revenue really serves as nothing other than what to spend money on in your place. And then because it's mixed in with their balance, they spend more money. They come back more often, and their average ticket price, their spending goes up quite a bit, about an average of 30 to 40% of what they spend, because they can never process what's really a reward or what's really real money. And it's like chips in Las Vegas. It's like monopoly money. It's so much easier to spend. Plus, with a business like Gecko, where maybe the people want an add on another hour or add on 2 hours, you don't have to worry about collecting any money. I mean, you don't even need to walk around with a portable device like we'll illustrate. You could just ask them, hey, listen, do you want us to add another hour or 2 hours to your time? No problem. We've already got the amount on. We'll go back and do it. And they say yes, boom, done. And then whatever they do, so it becomes much easier to do everything. So let's see where we were at. Receive money. We provide. Oh, here's what we do. We provide unlimited free free prizes for people who load money in advance. So not only do they get a Gecko reward, like maybe $20 or $25 for 100, maybe $50 for 200, maybe $75 for 300, but then we give them a prize that doesn't cost Gecko anything, like a $500 cruise. Now, let me show you these prizes real quick. I'll give you a few examples of them. Okay, which are right here. And I think they're right here. I put them in right here. Here's one. Okay. Now, here's an example. This is food. So we can easily give them a 20. This is restaurant.com. Now, this is the only one that actually costs us money for $365, but we can easily pay that $365, and they get a $25 gift certificate from all of these restaurants all over Southern Florida for $25. Now, that's the only one we pay, $365 for $25, but we can actually pull in more money with that. I mean, maybe we add $5 or whatever to it, and we actually make $1.15. But the other ones, no money we have to collect. And I've already arranged with this company. We have unlimited. I can give out 1,000 of these certificates a day, and all they really do is kind of pay the tax. So this one here, this one is a $25 gift certificate every month for 12 months. $29.95 is what the customer pays to redeem it. And then they get $300 back in certificates, one every month, 25 times 12. Let me show you another one. We also have unlimited vacation certificates to give out. Now, these better ones can be reserved for people who add more money. Now, this one's pretty good. And the reason why we can get this in unlimited fashion is because we have a professional travel agency that handles everything for these people, and they have to pay the taxes. When those two things occur, then we can give away unlimited amounts of these things because everything is kind of covered. So it's a pretty cool kind of a deal. So here's the idea, so everything's handled for the customer. We can hand them this certificate. And since they're getting a reward at Gecko for loading the money anyway, it doesn't matter if they even use it. The perceived value is tremendous. But everything's up front. We are partnering with one of the largest firm in the country that does this. They love what we're doing for small business and local communities. So we get unlimited use of this. It doesn't matter if we use 1 million of them. It's unlimited, right? So we can use these as incentives for people to give Gecko money or give a business money. So here it explains it, like right now, and you can look at these examples. And we can give them a number of examples, some they like, some they can choose. Here's a few. This is airfare and hotel for two. You can see it's a retail value of $19.49. It's good for 2 round-trip tickets, plus 2 nights of a hotel, right? And the customer has to pay a $50 processing fee to the agency when they book it and do everything in advance, and then they have to pay $199 for room and airline taxes. That's it. Okay. So they get a really great trip for way less than they would spend. Here's one: 7 nights in a condo, 3,500 locations, and these are 4-star and 5-star places, top places, right? 8 days, 7 nights, resort condo accommodations. They can sleep sometimes 3, 4, or even more. The customer pays a $15.95 processing fee to the advertising agency, who handles everything, the booking. It's a full service deal, so the business doesn't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. They call the 800 number, they pay the $15, and they get 1 year to use it. Now, when they go to use it in this particular offer, they have to pay $399 for the room taxes for 8 nights, because it's about a $250, $300 a night deal. Now, sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little bit more. We put the worst case scenario, but that's still a great deal for 8 days and 7 nights. They would have paid at least, I don't know. Well, they say it's a 2163. I mean, even if you got a great deal at 100 or 150 a night, it's 1,200 bucks. So you're saving a ton of money. But here's an example of just a brief stay, like in Las Vegas. Okay, $15.95 for the agency to handle it, and then you pay the $12 to $33 per night for the room tax. That's it. Okay, maybe $5 per night if you take your kids, right? Here's another one. So you can see all the details. I'll show you one more. Here's a great one from Florida that's really good for Gecko, because there's a brand new cruise ship out of West Palm Beach, and this price has actually gone up to about $750, $800. Maybe you find a great deal for $400. But here's what happens. We'll give them a 3-day, 2-night round trip cruise. They get all 3 buffets a day. So that's, I think, 8 buffets, because the first day they go, they get 2. Then they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner again from the Port of Palm Beach. And this is the brand new ship. You can look it up. Here's what they pay: $15.95, like for the agency to handle the redemption. And then $59 per person for the port fees, and then $59 per person in tax fees. So it's $118 per person. They have to pay it. Everything's booked for them. They show up and it's covered. Now, could they get this for maybe $550 or maybe, yeah, but not $118? Okay, so it's a great value, but when it's done, nobody can complain when it's a bonus. In other words, you're already getting a Gecko Park reward, and you get this on top of it based on maybe you add another $100. So Gecko grabs another $100 of money for something that doesn't cost them anything. And everything's handled full service from a top travel agency with 5-star ratings from Google. This is why you pay a little bit more for it, but everybody's much happier with it. So I wanted to kind of show you that. Those are really good ideas to increase the revenue. Now, what we're looking at here is, if you want to automate it inside of a POS system, I'm also partnering with this company here, and they can do these POSs. These are like $400 or $500, soup to nuts, and they include a biometric, facial recognition, time clock for all the employees. It covers absolutely everything. Very inexpensive, and they do. You can go to youaccept.com. I don't know if you can see the website up here, but you can check this out. I've got a special deal, so it includes absolutely everything, right? And these POS systems can work in conjunction with another one. So if you've already got a POS system, but you want to do it to track the prepaid stuff, then you can do this without cards. And in reality, sometimes the cards are between $75 and $1 a piece, and now it'll automatically put it right in the customer's account. So they can load the money online or come into Gecko Parks, hand $100, you open up the POS, and it automatically puts $125 in their account. And we can change that amount for specials or promotions. So if you want to track everything automatically via a POS and you don't have it, or you have a credit card swiping system, this whole POS ends up costing less than often what you pay for the cards. And you eliminate the cards, and it's automatically mobile and locked in. But there are some pros and cons to cards. We talked about it. I mean, you can do either way you want. I've got arrangements set up with pretty much everyone. So let's go back to here. Those are the prizes we do. Now, so when you receive $100, he automatically has $120, and he'll get the receipt. So when he walks up, you can say, "Hey, what's my receipt?" Name, boom, boom. You got 120. So when he spends money like $30, it'll say, "Okay, Steve, you had 120. We subtracted 30. You have 90 left." So he sees very clearly that he's got the money. He doesn't need a card necessarily to do it. And as more and more people do it, this will go up. Okay, so you have both options. Now, Starbucks and Chick-fil-A both earn billions of dollars in prepaid revenue. And this is Starbucks, for example, earns $3 billion per month. This is not revenue to Starbucks. This is just money that people put in the app for a prepaid benefit. And you know what the prepaid benefit is? It means you get 2 stars for every dollar that you spend. So in other words, you're spending $62.50 to get a free cup of coffee. Now, would you rather have that or get an instant $20 for depositing $100 into a business that you're going to go to anyway? In other words, it's really easy to have people give you this money because they don't get a guaranteed 20% return on their money with a cruise from West Palm Beach thrown in as a bonus, right? And then you can fiddle with this monopoly money, and this is why you can get thousands of people to give you $100. Because first of all, it's not like it's costing them anything. This is just money they're going to spend at the business anyway. And when we capture it and you take it, remember, they have to come to Gecko Parks. If they don't, you keep the money. So you actually make more money when customers don't show up than when they do. And then we're going to go over all the other benefits too. So you can read all of these, come back and look at them later. So we auto set it up so that you can push a button and bring in another 100 to 200,000 anytime you need it. By the way, the breakage on these, whether it's a card or a mobile account or whether it's an account direct in the POS, well, whatever it may be, there's about a 10 to 50% breakage. Breakage just means people kind of forget about it, or they just don't know that it's there. Okay, so every time you bring in $100,000 of prepaid revenue, that's a free $10 to $15,000 you can count on. That's a lot of money in breakage, believe me. Okay, and the other thing it does is it protects price points, because when you're issuing all of these benefits for loading up money, nobody knows what are they getting. I mean, is it real money? Is it rewards money? Am I getting benefits here? It's very confusing to them in a good way. So this is how they get the discount. They don't expect any discounts because the rewards are so lucrative. The benefits for giving money are so lucrative. The fact that real money is out of their hand and coming out of their account, it doesn't even feel like real money. So nobody really knows what you're charging. So as long as you don't just exorbitantly rip them off, you certainly don't have to discount because the rewards are with the deposit. And they get higher rewards with the more money they give you. That's the idea of Gecko, Gold, and Platinum. So you also receive money when the business is closed because we open up the online portal, we open up the web portal. You can even do it through social media, which we'll talk about later. So nothing like small business owners love to wake up in the morning, log into their bank account, and find out how much money they made while they were sleeping. When the business is closed, you're making money because the advertising all gears around prepaid revenue, not discounting it. The difference is so remarkable. It's incredible because when you discount, you lose all of that money in advance, and you teach your customers to expect lower prices. When you reward, it feels like $5 to Steve, but when he spends $5 at Gecko for an order of fries and a Coke, what does that really cost Gecko? I mean, $1? Maybe not even, maybe 75 cents. So when you start exchanging $5 for 75 cents, obviously you can see, now based on what they're spending it on, but it's a 400% increase with monopoly money. And so if you start this from the very beginning, it can be very lucrative. Now, it doesn't matter. You don't have to do it from the beginning, but it's even better from the beginning, but still just as lucrative if you've been open for 20 years. And people love it. They just start converting, and pretty soon all of your advertising and marketing go away. Within about 6 months to a year, your advertising and marketing budget is virtually eliminated. You get paid to advertise and market, and you bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time every time you do. So it's a great strategy. Now, Starbucks and Chick-fil-A do this, as we talked about, but we also throw in mobile ordering. Automatically included in the prepaid benefit is mobile ordering through our texting strategy. That's a different video. I'll show you that later. but they make millions of dollars on that. And what I'm going to show you is far better than Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. Matter of fact, everything we do is way better than Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. Now, I don't think we can get you up to $3 billion a month, in the first year, but you can see how people just love this stuff. Because right now, I'm telling you, I'll probably go over this stat later, but it just reminded me, 87% of customers have indicated that they want to be rewarded for something other than spending money in a business. So, do you know what businesses do to respond to that 87% of people who have said this is what they want? They don't do it. And let me tell you, when you don't listen to customers in this day and age, it's like a death knell. A great book to read is called Smart Customers, Stupid Companies. Great read, must read for small business. Another one is the IBM report called Know Me or Lose Me. So, and the age of the customer, it's really important to listen to what they want. They don't want to get these cheap rewards. With Starbucks, $62.50. You have to spend before finally earning a free item or a free cup of coffee. Now, and in spite of that, they still are making $3 billion a month on that alone. Why? Because nobody else has stepped up and given them a better solution. Believe me, I've told Starbucks this. If they were to give you a prepaid benefit right now, Starbucks would take in $1 billion within 24 hours. Don't tell them. They're probably going to do it because they've done everything else I've told them to do to high success. And you can gamify your rewards too, which is what Starbucks did after I suggested it to them. We don't know if they copied this, okay, but everything I've written about in blogs for the past several years, they've adopted. So everyone's told me to be quiet. So we're just going to give this to Gecko and a few others. So all the data is retained by customers with a new customer acquisition and retention model built in. I'm going to share with you more on that later. New customers are automatically plugged into the existing customer. Your average ticket goes up. You can raise prices with no problem, because anytime you raise prices, you can just increase rewards a little bit, and you got a 400% profit margin for doing it. And it feels like 100% to the consumer. It's just a fraction to the business. The value goes up with all the prizes and things. We can add additional businesses because of this marketing strategy who will throw in other benefits like a movie theater that we want to work with. Will throw in a free movie ticket. So here's what you get now when you become a Gecko Platinum member. You get 2 free movie tickets to the theater, $75 in rewards to spend anyway, a cruise for just the taxes leaving from your West Palm Beach port. And this doesn't cost you anything. It's just for loading money that you're going to spend at Gecko anyway. You can see why it becomes so hard to turn down. Plus, the business's credit card fees go down. People will write a check. They'll give you cash. You just take it in, throw a Monopoly money in return. No credit card fees, right? And when they redeem the prepaid money from either the card or from the POS, either one, there are no fees. So you save that. Advertising is eliminated because you control their money. If they don't show up, you keep it. You wake up every morning to find out how much money you made, as we talked about before. It takes about 6 months to a year before you start getting paid for everything that you do. Maybe sooner if it's a grand opening. Because all of your advertising and benefits are promoted around adding money in advance. And you keep increasing the little soft benefits, and it becomes incredible. And it's very easy to add new. I'm a business synergy expert, so we can add all kinds of benefits from our surrounding businesses who don't understand how to market like this. And because we help them out and they're non-compete to Gecko, they throw in a free leader item. We show them how to do it. But Gecko, because it's the one who started in this particular area, gets all the benefits. So membership amounts are customized and set up and auto-filed into groups, okay, with our special like texting and database building strategy, and which is all opens up for the app. But we have, they can text in gecko.rope, gecko.trampoline, gecko.rockclimb, gecko.arcade. So we know exactly where, and it automatically files them in what they like. They get special offers and, restaurant certificates, and just for texting in. See, everybody gets rewarded for doing things that don't cost them any money. They love that. They don't have to spend any money. They get rewarded for like texting gecko.trampoline in, okay? And maybe they get a $25 restaurant certificate just for texting in. Well, of course they're going to text in. But they have to choose which one they like the best, and then you have to tell them, hey, listen, make sure you let us know what you really like. We can vote They can vote for it, right? So once we know how everybody likes everything, then we communicate with them automatically based on their personal preferences. That's a big deal. And do you know companies like Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, after spending millions of dollars a year, don't even know how to do what I'm describing here? And this is all automated for Gecko Parks or your business? It's incredible, right? We can even do amazing things with Gecko.Pepsi and sponsor brands. I'm going to share with you later an augmented reality deal. So the kids can take their phone out, aim at the Pepsi cup, and the whole logo comes to life with a special movie that automatically rewards them to their mobile account. Kids go crazy over this. Wait till you see it. I'll give you an example later. We can auto communicate with everybody by their preferences. They love this whole concept. Here's the statistic I talked about before. We reward on deposit gives you instant gratification rather than waiting, a month to get a free cup of coffee. You get your $20 reward immediately. You get your cruise, your vacation, your restaurant certificate immediately. Everybody loves immediate gratification. They don't like waiting 30 to 60 days but to get a free cup of coffee. Okay, so it's much better. 93% of customers said they want instant gratification. Like, hello, I'm surprised it's not 100. So we know about all that. We auto reward them for social shares. We can kind of track all of that. Anybody can load money onto the Gecko account by just calling in. Hey, hello, Steve. Can I put $100 in my son's account? Sure. Oh, by the way, ma'am, if you give us $200 rather than 100, we'll let you split that up between two kids, and we'll double your reward. Did you want to make that 200? What do you think she says? Oh, and by the way, as a thank you for going to $200, we're going to send you a certificate for you and your husband to go on a cruise. Now, more than likely, we probably want to start a babysitting service because everyone's going to love our rewards so much they don't want. They're going, yeah, can you take my kids so we can keep going on the cruise? And this is just it's incredible marketing when you do it like this. People love this kind of stuff. So all set up for a powerful app build in the future, and we can even create sponsorship revenue like a Publix Premier membership and give here's what you can do, because I did this before. It was kind of incredible, and I did a huge deal with Motel 6 and bowling. But I used to tell all the bowling people, bring in your Motel 6 receipts. This is when Motel 6 was sponsoring the PBA tour. And I didn't tell Motel 6 this. I just did it. You can do this without their permission. You can have everybody bring in a Publix receipt, okay, so that maybe they spend $200 at Publix, and you give them a $20 reward at Gecko. Now, here's what you do when they do that. And you don't have to tell Publix, okay, but, might as well, because, but you tell them eventually, but here's what we do. I had them turn over the receipt and say, hey, would you tell Publix that you're never shopping anywhere else because they support healthy activity for your family? And sure, no problem. They turn it over Publix, man. I love what you're doing here with Gecko. We used to shop at Vons or whatever. Now all we do is go to Gecko. Thanks again for supporting the healthy kids. Blah blah blah. Do about 200 or 300 of those, and then show them to Publix, and then ask them, hey Publix, do you want me to continue doing this with you? You want me to go to Vons or Ingles or whoever their competitor is? What do you think they're going to say? Okay, and they're going to ask you, are you opening up any more of these parks? Because this is great marketing. We want to sponsor it. Now, you can do all kinds of things. We can create a custom membership for like a Pepsi membership, like a Budweiser membership, a chicken sandwich membership, all of these, and then we give them a special benefit for giving us $100 in advance. We control all of this revenue. The spending goes up. The price points are protected. The frequency goes up. The relevance is automated. And all you do is take in a lot of money in advance for this kind of a thing. So let me know if you have any questions. And I think that covers it. Let me see if there was anything else. Nope. Okay, sounds pretty good. Look forward to talking to you later.